this guy's real name, his last name is not Scoville. If it is, then
Can I move this just a squiggle?
yeah, you can move it a squiggle. Yeah, sure. Squiggle, a wiggle.
Just a little wiggle to the right. Hopefully that mic placement's good. Actually,
I want to know what the 7-pot brain strain is, and what's the 7-pot dogla, or the. I probably don't want to know.
yeah, probably not. I think they invented the Scoville rating.
So maybe that guy's name is Scoville.
Yeah, like he's.
That's the guy.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, see, dude, I'm trying to warn you. You've been warned.
Like that's the guy who created
The Scoville rating. I think.
I mean, it wasn't until enthusiasts into spice that we have like this reason, like these peppers. They were.
I mean, the peppers and stuff were already around, but it's only one peanut too. That's the crazy thing. Like just eating one, it's like.
You know, I called my dad today. I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this podcast today about a peanut. I'm sorry, about a really hot peanut." He's like, "You said, is it just one peanut?" And yeah, just. So, even he was like, "Well, it's just one peanut. It's no big deal." He was totally.
You can come over and do it.
I asked him. I was like, "Do you?"
With your dad,
I was like, "Do you think that you could handle it?" Just he's like, "Oh yeah, no problem. I could do one nut."
Yes, sadly mistaken. I didn't think it was gonna be nearly as bad as it was.
Maybe I need like tissues or something. My nose is gonna start running and like.
I mean, the one dude cried. And
Yeah, let me grab a couple tissues. Just thinking about it. Cried like whimpering or like just tears came out of his face.
He wasn't like whimpering. He was just like, like, why did you do this to me? Stick mouth, you poop, Ron, poop. I gotta. Let me
You're
see.
my hero, Ron. You come in with a stick like that, poop mouth. Yeah, like repeating it 5 times on DVD, rewinding it. What? Wrenches. Yeah, I don't see any wrenches. Oh wait, we got a dustable wrench over here.
Fuck. Alright.
I'm not stalling. You're stalling.
I'm not stalling.
At least I'm not stalling. You're the one that's stalling.
Here, help me out, bro. Actually, I might be able to. I think I'm going. Am I going the wrong way? Always fucking
Probably.
No, that's right. Oh yeah, that's way better. God damn it. I'm pissed now.
What?
I want to do this.
Don't be pissed,
awful,
Kevin.
dude.
It's not that big of a deal. Like I said, it's just one nut.
I already know what it's like. I know.
No.
I know what it's like, bro.
You know what it's like.
You don't know.
You know what it's like to wake up every single day and be Kevin Hackett.
Hate yourself.
I didn't say that.
All right. Fuck it, bro. YOLO. Hello, everyone, and welcome
Hi, everybody.
to the Food for Thought podcast, brought to you by Kevin Hackett. And today's guest is Nick Bishea.
Hey, everybody.
Nick's a longtime friend of mine. We've known each other since we were just little boys. And
We go way back.
we go way back, that's for sure. We really do. How old were you when I met you?
So let's see. Our sisters were both in gymnastics,
Yes.
grade school.
Yeah.
I think maybe I was in 6th or 7th grade. You were a grade or 2 below.
Yeah, I think a
Behind.
grade below you.
Yeah. I remember were meeting at
Vandergriffs?
gymnastics. Yeah, at
Yeah.
Vandergriffs.
Yeah.
Our sisters were practicing and were sitting off on the sidelines. And who was it? There was a band that we connected on. It was Rise Against, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think we were listening to Rise Against. Like either one of us had the album. We're like, hey, I got this new CD. You want to go listen to it in my mom's car?
Yeah.
And we like
Really?
went out and listened to the CD.
Yeah, I have a shit memory, I think.
I have a shit memory.
I mean, yeah, I remember.
And that's one of those weird instances, like
Yeah.
one of those moments where it's just like, I don't know why I remember.
That's
that,
awesome,
but
though.
it's
I'm
like,
super hyped that you, because that's something I totally forgot.
I'm pretty sure it was Rise Against. We All Fall Down. Is that what album was that? Or is that not them?
No, that's them.
It is
Like, oh,
fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that song's sick.
Yeah. You gotta
Yeah, man.
I remember just connecting on that, and yeah, man, we hung out every weekend growing up.
Yeah.
Like if I wasn't, it seemed like I grew up at your parents' house, like on the weekends, like.
Yeah, dude, we hung out all the time.
It was like pretty much expecting that I was gonna stay at your house.
Yeah,
like,
or
one
vice
night
versa.
over the weekend.
Yeah, I feel like I came over to your parents' house a lot too.
Mm-hmm. And that's where we started the whole idea of this. Look, I mean,
Being on camera and stuff.
being on camera, filming and producing, content creating.
Yeah.
At its earliest
At its
stages.
finest.
I wouldn't say finest.
Yeah, me either.
Not at all. But content creating.
Yeah.
We were just so enthused. We were just so motivated, but for no other reason but to make each other laugh.
Yeah, and I think we were like super inspired by like Jackass and CKY. That was like our inspiration.
Yeah. Remember you had the VHS, the CKY2K.
Yeah.
And just being absolutely floored by it. We
Yeah.
would watch it on repeat.
Yeah. And then you remember like the hidden, like you could like pause it at a certain point and there'd be like a bonus thing. Do you remember that? I don't know if we ever, I remember learning about that at some point. Yeah, there's like secret.
Like between the frames or something?
Yeah, like if you pause it at a certain time or like press a play button or something at a certain scene, there's like a hidden button like built into the, like the DVD or whatever.
What?
And it'll play like some bonus footage. I think that's
cool.
happens like a couple times throughout the video, but
it's like early Easter eggs.
Yeah.
DVDs.
Yeah. I was
you
just
stop at frame 32 on second.
Yeah. I was just telling my friend the other day about our like our full length movie that we made that like was on the Macintosh desktop.
The fact that Mac crashed and we lost that.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, I mean, I think my dad has the hard drive. But I don't know that. Yeah, we gotta take it somewhere.
You don't know if it's salvageable?
Yeah, I don't know. It might be, but
I was just talking to my
we
my
did not
friend
know
who's-
enough about backup
No.
and restoring.
Yeah, that's a good example of like something crashing on you. I was
kids.
Back
If you're gonna be
up.
filming your first Jackass video, you better start backing it up soon before you start filming years of footage, because you'll lose it all.
Dude, we put a lot of time in on editing that too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of time. Did we make some music for it too?
Huh?
I know we worked on like rap songs and stuff when we were younger, but I don't know if we put that in the video.
I think what we were into loops, or not loops. We would take I want to be a baller, and then we would just record our voices over the chorus.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, we would mix ourselves in.
Yeah. I was just telling my buddy who brought over all of his music equipment and stuff. I was telling him about how we used to make videos like back in the day. So I've basically been trying to make videos like my whole life, And,
that's what it's. I mean, in skateboarding too, like that was a genre within the something that you wanted to provide or produce was like a skateboarding film.
Yeah.
And it just went hand in hand with everything else that you did in life.
Right. Yeah.
And
here we are.
Here we are.
Do you like spicy food, Nick?
I love spicy food. Yeah. And I say that with a little bit of apprehension as we go into this, because maybe my knowledge of spicy food isn't what spicy food really is. I like to I like to dip my toes in spicy things.
You like a good like medium flavored.
I like
Buffalo Wild Wing.
I gotta have flavor with my heat. Yeah, I can't be. It There has to be heat and flavor balance. It's like sweet and spicy. It's like sweet and salty. You gotta balance the heat with the flavor, and
these nuts are next level.
There's no flavor here.
It's not about the flavor with these.
At least they went with Jumbo XL Virginia peanuts.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Best peanuts come from Virginia. Peanuts come from trees. And Virginia has a lot of them.
These spices come from genetically modified farming.
Yeah, Dr. Johnny Scoville apparently has created peppers of his own. So, we have him to thank for a few new species on Earth. Thanks, buddy.
I'm just going to say that leading up to this episode, I've been talking to Nick about these nuts and how spicy they are. And like he felt pretty confident that, it wouldn't be a big deal. Mm-hmm. And so I've tried them twice, and I didn't expect to try it again today, just as a little preface, but I decided that it wouldn't be right for me not to eat one with you.
Well, I appreciate that. It was never an agreement, and it's something that I needed you to do alongside me, but I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
And
hey,
it feels like a better connection.
I think you're right. I agree. We're in it together.
If we're gonna go back to our roots,
I'm not just gonna sit here and watch you suffer from the spiciness of these nuts.
You know what it would remind me of? You know what it would remind me of if I were sitting here eating peanuts, looking like a fool, just embarrassing myself. Remind me of the clips of when we were filming early on, and you and Justin would go outside the house and film me playing video games because of how serious of a face I would make.
Yeah, you were so into it.
I was so into it that you guys would thought it was hilarious to go out the house and go in through the window and film me.
just zombied into it. Yeah.
It's completely gone.
It was pretty funny. You gotta admit, it's kind of funny.
And I don't ever remember being so offended, turning around and just seeing someone film me.
What the fuck?
And I didn't do, there's so many things you could have done that would have been way worse to me, but I just turned around, just offended. I'm like.
You were pissed, weren't you?
I was pissed.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I mean, I remember you being upset about it, but I don't really remember you being that mad, but I guess you probably were pretty mad about it. I was just telling Frost, my friend who's dropped off all this stuff, like his recording gear, about our videos, and I was kind of going into depth about it, but I was just talking about how ridiculous it was and how we thought it was so cool to do some of the stuff we were doing. I remember going up to Lake Erie and that street where my parents' house was, popping wheelies on bikes. This kind of the dumbest thing, just especially my wheelies were fucking terrible. You were pretty good at doing wheelies, but I was not.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did just some of the stuff we did was just so silly. It wasn't really that cool, but what do you expect as a kid, at the same time?
Immediate regret on some things, but immediate, just you're in the moment. You just enjoy yourself as an adolescent, just a rebel in a little lake town on a scooter, just causing torture to nothing really. Just,
we weren't really doing
nothing too bad, but just really funny to think.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I wish we could rewatch that. I think it would be. I mean, it would probably be sort of a
little cringe.
Yeah, maybe, definitely cringy. Definitely kind of embarrassing, I guess, in a way. But at the same time, we were kids, and it was
home videos, man. Yeah, it's that. Those are the footage. That's the kind of unique footage that we're not gonna have, or the next generation won't have, because everything's so disposable.
Yeah, people
don't even take the time to build but a 5-second or 5-minute video. We took our childhood and tried to develop even just an hour-long film, but we had hours and hours and hours of footage that we kept going back to.
Yeah.
The culture these days is so instantaneous and disposable that I'll be surprised to see another generation come up with a feature of content. Like,
how long? Do you remember how long the video, like the final version we made was? Because we made like
it was like 48 minutes long. It was less than an hour, but it was well over a half hour. I know.
That's what I couldn't remember if it was like an hour and a half or an hour or 30 minutes. I thought it was longer than 30.
I think once it was all said and done, it was like, I don't know, somewhere around an hour or so. But
do you remember the replay of the butt slap? Like, I thought that show was hilarious.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I remember laughing so hard about that. Fuck, what else was in that?
We had that old stereo that had the siren on it. The car would go down the street. You'd flip the siren on, had the flashing light, and you put it on your shoulder and you skateboarded down the street chasing a car. like you're the police. It was like, woo, woo.
Or like cartwheeling across like Work Road.
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, that was a little crazy.
Yeah. But it wasn't, I mean, we would like do it when there was like not that much danger, you know?
Like, okay, we're waiting for the next
Wait till there's like a big gap.
Right.
Yeah. Thankfully.
We're still here today.
Yeah. We
weren't
that reckless.
Right. We don't have any tragic moments to talk about here.
Thankfully. Yeah.
Very fortunate for that.
Yeah. So,
here we are today. Our challenges have gotten a little spicier.
Hey, why don't we cheers to that?
Cheers to the foundation, brother.
Yeah, man.
White Russian, I think it's going to be really helpful here in a moment.
Yeah, I'm really not looking for this. The first time I ate this, after like the initial awfulness of it, it just like it leaves like an uncomfortable feeling. Like you just feel like
violated.
Like just pretty much, yeah. Like you feel you don't feel good after.
Really?
You know, I didn't.
Really?
I mean, I'm not. You might handle it better than I did, but I felt pretty terrible. And then the second time, like I said, I puked. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how number 3 goes. But
you know what they say?
Third time's a charm. Yeah, I feel like this time might be my best attempt. I did just eat Taco Bell. I will say that. Like maybe 30 minutes to an hour ago.
Did you put any fire sauce or hot sauce?
I always go with fire sauce or Diablo.
I
like fire better than Diablo.
Fire's got better flavor.
Yeah.
Diablo's got more heat.
In the heat of the Diablo doesn't bother me at all.
No.
Like I think I like to think that I have like a decent tolerance to hot stuff, but only if it's like common hot stuff. You know, like stuff like specialty hot stuff. I have very little, almost no experience with it. This is really it.
I think we need to do this. I'm ready.
Okay.
We're done talking about it. This is.
Yeah, man. I was just about to ask when you wanna start it off. So I feel like we'll see how it goes. Potentially, like the podcast might run short depending on how this goes. But I say we just eat one and then we just see how it goes.
Yeah. Just famous last word. So just one of these nuts, huh?
Yes.
Doesn't look very good.
No, they're not really for flavor. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. What a way to start the 2021 year, you know? Sounds like a weird year to say, 2021. Like,
yeah, it's like the future is now. This episode is also brought to you by Bailey's Irish Creamer and Coffee Mate. Just kidding. I wish. That'd be cool. Probably get paid pretty well for that.
Man, you getting that Nestle money?
Yeah. When you come from that Nestle money, you know you got it good. All right.
You know Nesquik, the rabbit, retired?
Did he?
He didn't even have to work anymore.
He actually retired? They don't use him anymore?
No, but Uncle Ben did.
He's probably too old now.
All right.
I'm so, apprehensive right now. I have so much anxiety about this right now. Worst part is when you swallow it.
I was told to chew it real well.
Were you? By who?
Girlfriend.
Yeah, see, I was trying to figure that out.
She said just, you don't want to choke.
I mean, that's usually a good rule of thumb.
I think that just sounds like something that a mom or a girlfriend would tell you.
Yeah. Okay. I've swallowed it.
Okay, yeah, I swallowed it.
How do you feel?
I just felt it go down my esophagus.
Pretty immediate hotness, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, very immediate hotness.
And it's just starting. I've had it 3 times, so hopefully I have built up a little bit of a tolerance to it. The thing on that says you're not supposed to drink anything for 5 minutes. I don't know if you want to try to do that. Your face getting a little red, your eyes look a little watery. I feel like I'm starting to sweat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to a happy place. Yep. At first, it had a little sweetness. You know, I was if you're from Cincinnati, there's a Grippo's barbecue chip. It's amazing. That's what it reminded me of. Now it's not so much like the Grippo's barbecue chip. It's more like something just opened.
Like your third eye just opened, and you're seeing like a whole other.
But if my tongue stuck my tongue out and my third eye was on my tongue. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm glad you turned the heat down in here. Okay. Yeah, that's not so bad.
It's not that bad.
Not so bad.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a drink? I'm going to take a drink.
Yeah, you want to take a drink, don't you, Kevin?
That was nice.
Yeah, I bet it was. Bet it was nice.
That was nice.
Way nicer than eating another peanut.
Do you want one?
No.
Because you said you might have 2.
I did.
You want to change your mind?
I'd say I'm doing pretty good.
I think you're doing all right. I think I'm doing better than you.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, maybe now. It's increasingly hot.
Try not to laugh because sometimes when you laugh, it hurts. Like, because some of the way your throat moves when you laugh. I think something I've been learning, is to take deep breaths.
So much meditative.
Is your neck always that red?
No. Is it my neck look red?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is it my face red? Does it look red? I feel a little sweaty.
Yeah.
A little red. Your eyes are really watery.
Yeah, they are.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I think...
All right.
I think me having done this for a third time, I do feel like this is the easiest time I've ever done it.
Good.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's still awful. But...
No, and like I said, I felt the familiar burn of the Carolina Reaper. There's many unfamiliar burns in there.
Is the Carolina Reaper is the sauce you've been... Mm-hmm. This is a lot worse.
I should have brought it over
it's
for you to sample. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Much worse. Because like I said, it comes Carolina Reaper sauce, but
I'll tell you this. You're the third guest who's tried this so far, and you've handled it the best so far.
Good.
So far.
I feel a sense of pride in doing so because, like I said, me and you go back to the core on this. You know, content creating, no matter what it is.
I had to feel like
eating nuts on camera, pushing people into the pool.
I'm gonna raise your mic up a little. But go ahead.
You know, no matter what we're doing, we've been doing this shit since we were very young. So there's a sense of I'm way better than your other guest kind of feeling in the most respectful type of way. Only in the fact that we've been content creating since we were very young. Although we never really understood how lucrative it could be.
Yeah, dude, I feel like...
I don't think that ever clicked with me. I never thought it could be like a career. You know, didn't think that what we were doing in that moment and nothing our parents were supporting in that moment was like, oh, you guys...
Dude,
take that and motivate. You know, it doesn't.
I have specific memories of. It's hard to talk a lot without having to, like, stop myself.
I feel like if you ever try DMT, it feels very similar to coming back.
DMT?
Yes.
I've thought about it, but I never did.
I feel like I just came back to my body.
Yeah.
And that is very similar
to DMT.
That is what you leave your body and you come back, and you come back very comfortably.
I feel like if you ate a handful, you would leave your body.
The Simpsons made an episode about that.
The hot stuff?
Well, Homer eats a pepper, an insanely hot pepper, and the rest of the episode, it's a trip. He goes on this fucking spinny trip. And, yeah, I believe that too. I bet if you eat, you could probably go, some sort of.
Dude, that was the best so far, by far.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still dealing with it, but like, it is definitely gotten way better.
Collective mind over matter.
That's part of it. I think because
I think if I were struggling over here, you'd be struggling.
No, for sure. I think you're right. Because like when Josh ate it with me, like he was crying. He literally was saying like, I think I might have to go to the hospital.
Oh, come on.
And that's what I was like, are you serious? But he was serious. And I was like, fuck. Like I feel bad. I better start acting like this is worse for me too. No, I'm just kidding. It was pretty terrible. But like.
I was not going to front. I was not going to fake. That hurt, but I'm stronger than that. And I've been practicing. Maybe not practiced enough.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody can be prepared. I feel
like
for
the more you talk, it brings it out.
It does.
It's
I just need to shut up. But we're on a podcast.
We're on a podcast. We gotta talk. I also like so that was how Josh handled it.
Oh my god! I think light this on fire.
When Isaac did it, he lasted like 2 minutes, and he was like, "Dude, I gotta get off here." He had drank a lot that day.
Of alcohol.
Maybe it was just another type of liquid, but like he had a lot of liquids in him, and he threw up like right away after, and then I threw up. So I think I feed off the guest, because you're handling it well, I'm handling it well. He threw up, I threw up. Josh didn't handle it great. I didn't handle it. I handled it better than him, but
yeah. And that's.
By the way, sorry to interrupt you, Josh. I'm calling you out. If you're watching this, you gotta redeem yourself, dude. You gotta try it again.
It's okay.
But yeah, dude, I was thinking like
maybe sign a waiver next time so he doesn't. You don't have to pay for the hospital.
If he gets
if
like
an ambulance has to show up, you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Just kidding, Josh. You'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be alright. But I remember like being so into video games as a kid and thinking like I want to be a gamer.
Yeah.
And my parents being like, there's no possible way, literally at all, that you could ever do that and be successful, like monetarily. And now, fast forward 10 years or 15 or however long it's been, and there's like people getting $100 million gaming deals. And then, I mean, that's just the pinnacle. I mean, you could be successful with gaming and make $50 grand a year or whatever. Like, there's
very content
levels to it. Yeah. And I feel like same with content creation. Like, dude, had we made a YouTube channel, like, when YouTube first came out, like, I mean, I made one and I posted, like, stupid skate videos, but I didn't really, like...
kept to it and been as motivated.
Yeah.
Seen the...
We'd probably be killing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well...
I remember, like, in high school, I was probably 15 or 16, and I posted I was at the skate park with some people, and... Is
it too late to
pour yourself whatever you want, yeah. And, like, this dude had broken somebody's skateboard.
Go ahead, please stop. Don't stop.
This dude had broken somebody's skateboard, and then these guys confronted him, and they ended up getting in a fight. And he hit the two guys that confronted the guy who broke the guy's skateboard. They went to their car and they came back with a baseball bat and a crowbar. Did you ever hear about this?
No.
Really? Well, so they came back with a baseball bat and a crowbar, and they were like, "Give him your board," because he broke the kid's board.
Okay.
And I was there with my camera, because I was always there with my camera.
Oh yeah.
And like, so they a fight broke out because he's like, "Fuck you! I'm not giving you my board."
Mm-hmm.
And so like they were like, "We're gonna take it from you," And then they started going at it, and like they swung the bat and the crowbar at him, and like he kind of like deflected it sorta and cracked the one dude with his skateboard, and the dude just like fucking melted, like, because he hit him really fucking hard with the truck. Like he was bleeding, like gashed, and had to go to the hospital. It was crazy as hell. And I filmed, like, I kind of like had just hit record and like pivoted to get the like the shot, like just as it was happening.
Yeah.
It was in the start of that skate video, the Delhi Days video.
Mm-hmm.
But I posted that on YouTube, like shortly after it happened when I was that age. And that video got like, if I remember correctly, I think it had gotten like 100,000 views, like like really quick. Because
What,
it's crazy.
the Delhi days or just that
No,
clip?
just that clip. Like,
that clip.
I edited it together with, like, what had happened and then the aftermath. Because I was, like, with those people at the time. And so we were, like, leaving the park. But then those guys who, like, he got in a fight with came up to their car and they were all, like, talking shit. And he's like, I'm a writer. Like, I'm writing your license plate down, you know. And they were all, you know, talking shit to each other. And
I'm a writer?
because he was like, who the fuck are you?
I know how to
he's
use
like,
a
I'm
pencil
writer.
and paper.
Yeah, he was basically just, I don't know, it's silly, but, like, he basically was saying he wrote down the license plate number and they called the cops. And so, like, we left and then the cops, like, pulled us over and, like, the one dude got, like, cited for it and had to go to court. And I ended up actually having to go to court with him, not, like, because I was in trouble, but because I'd filmed it. And he asked me to go to, like, provide the footage to, like, the judge or whatever. As,
All
like,
you had was the aftermath, though.
well, no, I filmed, like, it happened.
Oh,
but
okay.
I didn't film, I mean, yeah, and they didn't even end up watching it, which is kind of weird to me because, like, that whole situation was kind of crazy because, like if somebody confronts you with, like two guys come up to you with weapons and then you hit them with your skateboard, like, to me, that's self-defense. So that's how I rationalized it.
Right.
But he ended up, like, they didn't get in trouble for that, and he got in trouble for hitting them with the board, and he had to pay for his medical fees and stuff. Yeah. And, but anyway, like, I just brought that up to say that, like, that video had gotten, like, 100,000 views, like, real quick. I remember being like, whoa, like, I think it was 100,000. It was a lot of views. Yeah. Like, and within a week or a couple weeks. And I was just like, this is awesome to get, like, crazy views crazy fast, you know? Yeah. And then,
but it's not your most proud content to be like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, it's not like,
and that's, you know, the sad but true thing is that sometimes your finest, well, your most unfinest work gets the most attention. For example, I remember JJ Berg talking about his the days of Tumblr and posting Tumblr and getting reposts. He posted a photo of a sign that one way said rough play, the other way said gentle play, and it was at a dog park, but taken out of context and posted to the internet. You never know who's going to interpret that for what. Yeah. And he said overnight that got some, 25,000 views or some shit repost on Tumblr. And he looked at the majority of the reposts, and it was all from all these, like, real, like, kinky, like, weird, like, sexual post websites where it's like sexual play this way, rough, gentle play that way. Yeah. It's like, you know, it's like he woke up stoked about the content being like exposed, but then and then he's just kind of unstoked about the exposure. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really ashamed of it because it wasn't my fault. You know, I was just, I mean, but even that wasn't his fault, you know, but, like, taken out of context. Yeah. I mean, to me, what I filmed was more like a World Star video. You know, that's just like some crazy shit that happened. People are like, whoa, like, right. I mean, we used to watch World Star videos and the Kimbo Slice fights and stuff. Yeah, E-Bombs World. Yeah. And bum fights. Yeah, bum fights is awful, dude. That shit was terrible, honestly. Like, I watched a documentary about that, actually, like, not that long ago. I was just somehow, like, you know how the rabbit hole of YouTube goes, but... Somebody made a documentary about bum fights? Well, there was... I don't even remember exactly what I was watching, but there was some content about the creator of bum fights. Apparently, he had become, like, a multimillionaire off of, like, franchising that. Or not, I don't know, I shouldn't say franchising. He made... Marketed it? He made, like, a business out of it, you know? He sold the DVDs and marketed it, and he made a ton of money. He ended up getting, like, sued, and there was, like, a partner that he had, and they made, like, sequels to it, and it was, like, this whole story, and he eventually got in trouble for it, I think, because it was illegal, and, like, you know, there was lawsuits, and it was kind of crazy, but just like, that reminded me of bum fights, and I hadn't really thought about that since I was, like, a kid when we watched it. Yeah. And I was just like, man, this stuff's, like, pretty terrible. Like, you know, like, they were basically, like, paying homeless people to, like, beat each other up and stuff. It's kind of fucked up. Even though, and it's like, YouTube's great and boundless and, you know, the great frontier of the internet for you to be free to post, but if you don't have some sort of moral compass behind your post and, like, your content, like, you're kind of just selling out, you know, you're just doing something for the views as opposed to any other reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, even today, like, I mean, there's a lot more guidelines and like regulation on YouTube than there used to be. I feel like when we were younger and YouTube first came out, like, you could post anything.
Anything, yeah.
Just about, you know, or
Right.
it might get flagged eventually, but like today it's like you could post some of that stuff and it would get flagged like that. But
Remember
like,
that post that a few years ago, the YouTube Kids, that video that leaked through? It was some weird
child show kind of thing.
child telling you to like pull out the knife from the cabinet and...
Oh, yeah. That was like some fucking challenge thing or, yeah.
No, there's some fucked up animation that they slipped through to YouTube Kids telling them to like cut themselves and shit.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. But
I mean, it's not YouTube's fault, but at a certain degree, I guess. The frontier is, you know, the...
Yeah, they're like the conduit that allows that to happen. But like, yeah, when I posted that skate video, like, fight thing, like, that had... that actually got taken down. Like, I got a bunch of views, yeah, and then, like, I got a message, like, through YouTube saying that somebody had reported it, and I, like, kind of declined it. You could, like, have an option to take it down or leave it up.
Yeah.
And I just left it up.
Right, and then if it got taken down...
And then I got another warning, I think, and then, you know, I left it up, and then eventually they took it down, and my channel got, like, not banned, but, like, it got, like... Suspended, yeah. Yeah. So that was like my first experience of getting like a YouTube strike and knowing like what that was like. But yeah, I was kind of bummed out about it. But I mean, there was a couple other times where I filmed like some fights, like just people that I knew that were like fighting, and I was like, I'll film it, and like that would have been probably good content for views, you know. But I don't think I really ever uploaded that stuff. It's kind of trashy anyway. Right. You know, it's like not really. You
don't want to get that kind of traffic anyways, because then it could kind of mold your demand too. If you get views in a certain way, then you have a demographic built that like, wow, I want to see you build, you know. Yeah, I want to see you do something else. It's more crazy.
Yeah, that's what.
It's like, well, I did that for the views. I actually like doing indie videos and music videos.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Well, fuck it. I want to see you fight somebody again. You know, it's like, well, I don't want you as a viewer.
Yeah. Sorry. Right. Yeah. Yeah, man. How are you hanging in there? Is this the peanuts? Subsided?
I've subsided. Like I said,
Dude,
I've returned back to my body. I left for a minute.
Yeah. You did it. You want another one? Just kidding. I don't want another one.
Yeah, I think one time you need to. Well, this will be on the postcast maybe, but
I'll just tell you now that I don't really cut stuff out.
Oh,
so it's just all like live. I mean, it's not live, but like
live uncut. Yeah,
just kind of leave it all in there. But you.
Well, I think you should try DMT, and I think you should come back and talk about your experience.
I don't know. I've thought about it before, but I knew people. I actually filmed people doing DMT back in high school.
Filmed people doing it in high school?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It was crazy. I don't know. Kind of felt.
That probably skews your opinion.
Made me not really want to do it, honestly. Yeah. But
did they know that they were doing DMT in high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I don't. I mean, I used to just film all kinds of shit, and I had a lot of friends who did a lot of drugs. Yeah. So I was just, kind of a little young documentarian in a way.
I was offered it in high school years, and I denied it because I felt like personally that I was unprepared and unready for it.
Yeah. I've thought about it. I mean, I was just watching Mike Tyson went on, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Personally. You guys are friends?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I got his number.
Yeah.
I blew him off tonight to come here to do this. So.
Yeah.
What's
I actually
up,
had
Logan?
a dude on who smoked a joint sort of with Logan Paul, apparently. It's pretty cool.
Who did?
He's basically famous.
You have a friend that smoked a joint with Logan Paul?
Well, that's what he told me, but he said he...
It probably just looked like him.
No, I think it was like at Ohio University when he was still going to school there, but I don't think that...
That's fucking crazy,
dude. It's so sick.
Wow.
So lit.
Holy shit.
But
you're telling me a guy from YouTube smoked a joint with another guy that you know?
Yes. But
guess what? Somebody smoked a joint with me, and I might be on YouTube one day.
Yeah. But Logan Paul's like super famous.
Yeah, I know. So Logan Paul's really cool and stuff.
Super cool, dude. But anyway, he had... Yeah, he's so great. He had...
super cool.
Oh, the best.
Stop. Logan Paul is awesome.
Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. But anyway,
You were saying.
what was I saying? No, okay, he had Mike Tyson on his podcast, and Mike Tyson ate like a huge handful of shrooms on his podcast. It's crazy. You should watch it.
Did he really?
Yeah. He has Mike Tyson's talking about how he eats podcasts every day. He eats mushrooms like every day, like just fucking.
Does he
loves
really?
mushrooms? Yeah, because you know how like you probably heard stories about when Mike Tyson was like in his prime, super rich, best heavyweight boxer of all time or whatever, and he was. You know how he went on like benders and stuff. He did a bunch of cocaine and drugs, and he was just like super reckless. You know about him?
I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know he was on benders the whole time.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it wasn't the whole time, but he got super carried away.
Yeah,
with drugs and stuff.
Right.
And like, but anyway, he was on Logan Paul's podcast, and they show him on the podcast. And he's got like a big handful of mushrooms, and he just fucking the whole thing. He's just chewing on them for like 45 minutes. Like, he got like mushroom mouth. But
Mike, that's gnarly, dude.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Just raw dogging mushrooms, bro.
Pretty much.
At least got to put them on a peanut butter sandwich or shove them into some bugles. That's the best thing. They look like little ice cream cones.
Oh, like a bugle?
You know, the little fucking
finger.
You shove them in the top. They look like little ice cream cones. Just toss them back. Yeah.
He
do mushrooms.
He's talking about on that podcast. He talks about DMT and how it's just like next level, which I mean I've already heard many stories about it, but it was just interesting hearing him talk about it and how he related it as like being like a spiritual thing,
That's where I'm at, and that's why I don't talk about it in the same subject matter as like tripping, eating mushrooms, or doing acid or partying like that. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. It changed me forever, and in a positive way. And not to say that it would change everybody in a positive way forever, but absolutely experiences you can't explain and you can't take away from yourself.
Yeah, they asked him to explain it, and his explanation was just like, dude, like what? Like it wasn't even like an explanation. He was just like, I can't explain it. Like,
well, I can to a certain extent I can explain it in that you start where you're at. You start here, you and I.
Yeah, like in reality. Just like,
everything is as it is. Everything is as you understand it. This cup is filled with this liquid. You drink it and you feel it. Mm-hmm. Everything is as you know it. You hear it, you feel it, everything. Mm-hmm. You take one hit of some good DMT. The best way to do it is with weed. You put it on top of weed,
like a bong or something.
You dab it with a little bit of oil in a rig. However you ingest it, it fills your chest. You within seconds of you exhaling. If you have any sharpness in your back, if you have any feeling like tendencies that you just are sitting in your body with, it like
tension. You mean?
Tension, physical, like
anxiety or like some sort of body tension,
some sort of something that feels like you're bound to the moment, like you're bound to your physical being, like either it's your angst, whether it's a weird back pain, whether it's just something, anything that ties you to your physical person, you immediately sedate, to go to this point where you just feel like someone just pushed a deflate button on yourself and you just fall into a very meditative kind of relaxed state.
Meditative.
From that, it's channeling. No, it's very channeling. Yeah. There's a period right there where everyone I've ever talked to is very similar. It goes from here to a channeling effect where it's very streaky. Like colors either go by you or dimensions
like to where you don't see like reality in front of you. It's more like an array of colors.
Kind of like a Hollywood's version of a wormhole, going through space at light speed, but slowed down, so you're getting those streaks. People see different colors. I've seen different colors depending on how my mood was going into it.
How many have you done it more than once, I guess?
Yeah.
How many times have you done it?
I'd probably say 4 or 5 different nights or events that I've done it.
So you did it at like a festival or something?
I've done it at a festival. I've done it in my living room. I've done it by myself. I've done it in groups.
When you did it at a festival, and it's a lot like straying from your story, but like, did you do it like in the middle of like a concert, or it was more like when you're like at your tent.
Me and my ex-girlfriend waited till we got back to camp.
Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be nuts to do it like just in the middle.
No, because then you're just disconnected, and you're just like you might get stepped on or
fucking lay down or
you might get all your shit stolen because you're just
like
gone.
helpless. Yeah.
No, we waited until the end of the night till we were completely worn the fuck out, laying on our hammock, or in our tent, smoked a joint.
Yeah.
And in that experience, there was it's like 3:30 in the morning or something, and somebody apparently like set up a DJ booth on a couple garbage like 50-gallon drums at the end of the campsite. So right there with all the trash cans, right? Some guys DJing, just playing some crazy ass bass music, and we're sitting there smoking this joint. And I'll never forget it. This vision of this bullfrog wearing a DJ, like a headset, and just scratching records.
Was this after you took it?
This is while I was smoking it, like in the middle of the trip. Like
you hit it and then you'd like exhaled and you were like starting to
So the music hadn't started yet. We were laying down, it was quiet. We're like, all right, let's just smoke this, we'll chill. Start smoking it, and then out of nowhere, this guy starts DJing. This music comes out of nowhere, and I'm just starting to trip. And I heard the music, and then I just visually saw this bullfrog, and he was just DJing, just going fucking absolutely insane. And I remember,
like he was like in bullfrog form, like he looked.
It was just the head, like a giant bullfrog's head, wearing like a fucking Pioneer's headset, holding one hand and hitting the records.
Was his hand like a bullfrog hand, like a webby?
It was like a fucking
hand?
like a webbed hand. He was like whoop whoop, because the music was real whoop 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 whoop. So just like I saw this bullfrog just like croaking in the night, like and trip's done in like 5 minutes. We finished a joint, and I was like, I'm sorry, I got to get out of this tent and find out where this music came from. And I got out of the tent and walked to where it was, and it was just some hippie, just some
this dude. Is like after you came down from.
It's after I came, because it's very.
It's fast. It's like 15 minutes, right? Like
less.
I know. I mean, like, but like after 15 minutes, like you're kind of like.
Yeah.
Back to normal, except you've experienced it, so you're
like we just went through this down, like exactly coming down from this heat. You feel like 10 minutes ago it was a little worse, but you weren't. In pain, you know. So after that time, we went. I was like, man, you just like tripped me the fuck out. You don't even understand what I just saw from you doing this. It's like, I appreciate you and I thank you. And he's like, oh man, cool. So like I just went through this mind fuck of a journey and was like felt obligated.
Dude, you just changed my fucking
at
life.
At 4 in the morning, I walked up and he was just like, cool.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that comes full circle to the DMT experience, in that it is singular. Yeah. You're not going to be able to explain my experience to you and say that that's for you or that's what you need to see. But what I can say is that I've had positive and negative experiences on it. And the negatives are, I think, what I benefited from and experienced the most from.
What was negative about it?
So I was really lonely. Like I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, and I was just in a bad place. I didn't have drugs to turn to. I was kind of bad off on coke. I was just doing drugs just to clear my mind. I didn't have anything but DMT. It was just sitting in my fridge because it's one of those things you don't just do just because it's very intense.
My old roommate, you know, but he used to do DMT like all the time.
Just do it.
He loved doing it. Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't always tell me about it,
right?
But that was part of the reason I kicked him out, because it wasn't just DMT. I think he was doing like Xanax and stuff too. But he was just doing the drugs all the time, and his girlfriend at the time was, and like it's
right.
I don't know. I just especially at that point in my life, like I'd been around drugs like for such a long. I felt like, you know, at least for like how short of a life I'd lived, you know, time wise, like. I've been around a lot of drugs for like a while, honestly, and like so I ended up like kicking him out because I was just like, dude, I'm trying to like, I literally was at a point where I was like, I'm not gonna do any drugs, I'm not gonna like associate with any of that shit,
right? And
I just wanted to focus on like other things, and like I was trying to get that across to him, and I remember having a talk with him about how like I needed him to stop doing that because of where I was trying to, like what direction I was trying to take. And he, you know, like, we had a talk in my kitchen at the time, and then he was like, yeah, like I won't anymore or whatever. And then that same night, like he's still doing this shit, and I'm like, wow, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then we ended up like living together a little bit longer, and it just ended up, you know, continuing to
Just
like become bad.
Never got any better. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway.
Well, like I was saying, that night, I was in a bad position where I was turning to things just to numb my pain, get away from things, so DMT, I was like, well, shit, I'll just blast off. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll be floating, cloud tripping out, whatever. Mm-hmm. And that was the time that I had turned to it. And to my surprise, that channeling, what I normally expected in good mindsets and in positive behavior, that colorful, tranquil, flowing, just like streams of color going past me, was murky. It was dark red. It was bloody.
So it was like emulating like your mood. Exactly.
And it was almost, and typically, so you go through the channeling, and then they call what's breaking through. So if you break through, you've now, it's really awesome. I mean, it's that's the part where people, oh, dude, you know, you can't explain it because you go through so many things in such a little time. That time, the time I turned to it in desperation, I came to a wall, a literal fucking giant wall. Like I sat there after being channeled through this bloody, murky, just depressing, like
abstract
black and gray and red going past me. I came to a wall. I came to an absolute block, and that taught me, I mean, I don't know if it's just my perception of it or whatever, but it taught me that you can't turn to drugs to fix your problems. You know, you can't turn to stimulants to avoid things that are troubling you. You know, that ultimately that drug taught me that there's no escape in the drugs, that it wasn't going to, it literally didn't allow me to trip.
Yeah. And
not only that, it taught me that turning to a drug to release is not beneficial.
Yeah.
And that was one of the worst trips I ever had, but one of the best trips I ever had.
What you learned from
I literally came out of it and I was like, holy shit, like chuckling almost. Like I sat there and was just like, what am I doing? Like I literally stood up and went to bed. It was just like, no more like trying to scrounge up weed or no more. It was just like, go to bed.
Yeah.
And it was like an alarm just went, and like I haven't done it many times since then, but again, like I said, it's a teacher. Yeah. It's not something to be done every day. You have to go in it with a sense of coming out to learn something.
Yeah, I've heard, I mean, I think obviously like it's all, and you know this, but it's different for everybody, but like it can be sounds to me, I mean, I've never done it, so I don't want to act like I'm speaking from experience, but like I've heard a lot of stories about it. I mean, when I was, 15 or I was in high school, so between 15 and 18, like I had a number of friends who started to do that for their first time, and like so I was hearing all about it pretty often, like dude, this is like the craziest shit, and like these are people who had been doing LSD and mushrooms and stuff, so like they had already experienced psychedelics, but they hadn't tried something like DMT, which is like the next level kind of thing. And so I was hearing a lot about it, but just to add to that, like when I was watching the Mike Tyson podcast on Logan Paul's podcast, he was talking about how it can be used to I guess there's probably a lot of like studies on this and people talking about it, but it can be used to like help people come out of a depression, or like some sort of spiritual awakening, or like it can sort of like kill your ego. Like if you have some sort of ego, like you do that, and then you're just like your ego kind of like dissipates, I guess. I mean, I've never done it, but I can speak to that to a certain degree and say that I felt like I was in a bad place, and I come from it, and I came out of it. Yeah, man.
It's unlike it on anything out there. But does this mic keep dropping on me?
It's like super front heavy. Kind of to get that other mic stand.
Well, I mean, it's been a pretty good interview, I don't know.
Dude. What do you think so far? You enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, sure. Enjoying it.
Yeah.
We haven't talked too much about 2020 at all, which is great because I thought that was going to be the only topic.
2020?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about 2020?
Fuck no.
You want to talk about 2021?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm talking about 2021.
What do you think 2021 is going to be like?
Well, I think it's going to be pretty cool. YouTube. We're going to have a lot of content to produce, so we've got some good ideas.
Yeah. We've been talking about doing, I mean, I'm sort of speaking to the audience right now. But
Hey, it's okay.
We've been talking about doing a lot of skits. So, like, as we were saying when we were kids, we used to do skits, except we were kids and we were, like, didn't really have much direction.
Stupid idiots.
Yeah, big, stupid, dumb dummies. And nowadays, we're, like, slightly more evolved dumb dummies. And
yes,
so our skits are going to have, like, a little more structure to them. They're probably still going to be pretty stupid, but...
We're dumb dummies with money!
Yeah. But I do want to make, like, we've been talking a lot about making skits again, and it's something that I've been wanting to do. I mean, just my whole life, really, but, like, especially, like, I went to film school, and then I did some skits in school, and it was so fun. And then ever since college, like, I've kind of dabbled with it, like, barely, but not even hardly at all, and I've wanted to do that.
Right.
I've kind of put it, like, out of sight, out of mind for a while. Like, it's always been something I wanted to do, but I just
it's hard. I mean, it's hard to. It takes time. It takes dedication. It takes motivation to be influenced by yourself.
Right. And
not
finding
by
people to do it with. You know, like, which, I mean, I think you're like you and I got a history of doing stuff like that together. So it's cool that because we kind of, like, only sort of recently, like, reconnected in a way. Like, I feel like we
Well,
we had
to be honest, you were dating someone and I never met them for 4 years, 5 years,
going on 5 years. Yeah,
I never met them.
Yeah. And
so
like,
it doesn't really speak credit to our relationship in this podcast.
Well,
but
I mean, we
do go way
I
back.
don't know, man.
I promise.
Life, like, takes you in all kinds of directions.
I know.
You know, like, there's people that I still feel like, you know, I've, like, shared a part of my life with that I don't really, like, keep that much in touch with, but I still am on good terms with. It's just, like, you know, life takes you different ways, but but yeah, I feel like soon to come, like, we will be putting out some skits. If you want to talk about them, we can. Like, we've been talking about doing a music mockumentary, which should be fun. I wonder if we should even. Part of me wants to be like make it seem real. I don't know. That's probably too hard to do. Not even too hard, but, like.
I mean, what do you mean? Seem real? I mean,
like, to where you could like. I with my channel, like, a lot of the stuff I've posted, it's just, like, stuff that I do. Like, I do screen printing, I do music, I do skateboarding. It's all like real stuff that's, like, a part of my life. And then it would be funny to like I've already been doing stuff with music and talked about music, but I was just basically trying to get at saying that it would be funny to upload mockumentary music content that people don't know is a mockumentary.
Intentional.
So it's just like, we know, but they don't know. So we're in on it, but they're not, you know? Like, that would be, I mean, I'm kind of, I guess if that's what we do.
I'm pretty sure that's how Riff Raff was born.
Probably. There's.
You watch the first videos of YouTube of Riff Raff? Mm-hmm. It's just a guy dressed in cornrows walking around a hotel room that he's like, yeah, I bought this shit from, you know, LeBron's house. And
yeah.
And he blew up, and then he took that persona, and now he builds.
There's a couple musicians like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Like, I mean, Oliver Tree's kind of an example of that, because he's sort of like a parody of himself.
Right.
And then, like, I know Jack White from the White Stripes at one point, like, he did a mockumentary music series where,
did he really?
Yeah, it was like when the White Stripes became, like, right around the time that they really, like, blown up, and they started putting out these.
It's hard for him to be a mockumentary when he's.
Well, he
quoted as one of the greatest guitar players of all time.
Yeah, but so the thing that about his mockumentary series, you can find it on YouTube, but, like, it's pretty hilarious because it's like him and Meg, like, his wife, who at the time they had been saying what they were brother and sister, and so, like, that was
his wife.
That was his wife. Yeah. Did you think it was his sister?
Yeah, I thought it was his brother and sister.
No, yeah. So, like, they would lie all the time and say that they were brother and sister, but they were actually married.
That's gross,
right? Yeah, it's weird, but, like, I don't know. I guess they just like trolling people, and then, like, they put out a bunch of, like, mockumentary style videos as, like, part of a series, sort of like a documentary, and like they would just be super ridiculous. Like he'd be working with his manager or like the record label, and like it would like their manager would just be like a complete idiot, and like he would be himself, you know, but like the people in the episodes would be like just totally like ridiculous. And so like if you or I were watching it and you didn't know that it was like a joke, you would probably think it was real, and you'd just be like, holy shit, like this shit's crazy. But yeah, I'd thought about doing something maybe that, I mean, we're talking about it now, so it's kind of like sort of would blow the cover.
You're talking about it right now, Kevin.
I know, but the thing is too, like how many people really watch this? So if we really started doing that and started getting traction, like
that's right.
Not that many people would even know. And if they did, this could be the little like way to be like, I'm in on the know, bro.
Right. If they do know, then they know.
Right.
I'd be like, oh wow, that was quoted in that one podcast.
This is actually a parody, but it's
episode 3 after the hot nut challenge.
Exactly.
You just gotta wait until 22 minutes into it.
Yeah.
To get the real inside.
He reveals the truth.
Yeah, you reveal what videos happened years later that might get us more famous than this video.
That's right, dude.
But that's not what it's about.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all been.
I was just not saying that's what it's about.
That's what you said.
We're just
I
in it
knew
for
you
the
were lying to me,
fame
Kevin.
and the clout and the money, and that's all.
We have been A1 since day one, Kevin. Okay.
What does that even mean?
I'm pretty sure it's a steak sauce, and it's
well, I
like
know that, but
it's supposed to go on a good steak.
Yeah, but
or a bad steak.
In that context,
good steak doesn't need A1.
What does it mean though in that context?
It rhymes. It's a cheap way to say that you've been a good.
Keeping it real.
A1 sounds like a really good grade. And if you've had a really good grade since the start, you're doing pretty good. So I think that's what the analogy A1 since day one.
I kind of want to keep talking about like our series, but at the same time, now that we're talking about all this, I kind of want to like.
Yeah, we'll talk about our series later. You know, I think we should come up. What about like a 30-second teaser, just a video that never happens?
Like a trailer?
Yeah.
What do you mean a video that never happens?
Well, it happens, but, you know, we just tease them. Like we tease them. We make the video, and then we just don't release it.
Like a video, like we make a video, and you release the video as like a teaser for a video that's going to come that never comes?
Yeah, like Rick and Morty's 4th season. Like they released one episode.
Yeah. But they never did the season.
On April Fool's Day, telling people that the season was going to release, and then they didn't release the season for like 2 years.
But like, what would we tease?
Well, we gotta tease something. We
can't. I mean,
we have to have. Yeah.
Can we say it? Or do we
want
it to be secret?
That'll be a teaser. We were talking about our videos. So what would you rather talk about?
I mean, part of the thing. So like, I think with doing the podcasts, like we can brainstorm while we do it, because we got to talk to brainstorm, right? So it's like we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, but at the same time, like then we're giving it away, you know?
Yeah, we don't want to give them all of our secrets.
You want to talk about the frisbee golf?
The
frisbee golf series.
The frisbee golf series. Oh yeah. Well, I guess we'll just go right into it and say that I like to frisbee golf. I'm not ashamed of it. I shouldn't be ashamed of it. I have a bat.
Do you feel like I'm shaming you?
Maybe I'm shamed a little bit by the guy across the table because I have a bag and he doesn't have a bag. But that's okay. One of these days he'll have his own bag.
I'll have my own bag.
He'll have more than 1 discs.
A signature series, maybe even.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Kevin.
I'll probably never have that. Or maybe I will. I don't know. I feel like I could earn it. Put the time in.
Yeah. I don't know that the disc golf community is ready for a parody. They're kind of sensitive.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think you're right.
They're gonna be
a lot of communities.
They're gonna be like, "Hey, man, we didn't ask for this kind of hurt.
Yeah.
You didn't really need to
come at me like that, bro.
You didn't need to poke fun at me and my pals."
Lifestyle, okay?
Right. Like, I didn't choose this park.
It chose me.
I didn't choose this free sport. This free sport chose me.
Dude, yeah, we gotta.
It's like I'm pretty sure I chose the free sport when I was broke and I wanted to do something outside.
Yeah, we got to get you like a wardrobe, like come up with your outfit, come up with your character name, your backstory, you know, like your character development, and then we should do some interviews to start maybe. You know, like you could talk about how the sport chose you.
Right.
And how,
yeah, definitely. Before we hit the and field.
Freeway.
Right. Yeah. Structure it.
Yeah.
You ever seen Kelly Chevelle? I have to plug that.
I've
That's
seen it.
my only YouTube video. I have to put that out
Is
there.
that on YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
Is that on your channel?
It's on my channel.
What's your channel?
I think it's just Nick Bishea.
Link below. Link in the description below. Go subscribe. Like, subscribe.
Like,
hit
subscribe.
The bell.
It's just one video. I promise there's not much else out there, but
Is that the only video on your channel?
I think so. It might be.
Do you ever plan on like uploading more, or is that kind of just like?
I never planned on uploading more.
That's fine.
I mean, not for my. I don't know. I feel like if I've ever been in the realm of content creating, I've always known who to address or who to go to post it. Like, and that would have been you. Like, I don't feel like myself as an avenue to post and have to be a content creator aside from.
Yeah.
I think that, I don't know, just collectively when we worked younger, that was what built the foundation of doing all of this. And if I were to proceed again, I think that I would continue creating content with you, you know?
Yeah, definitely. One thing that I've always kind of like hoped would happen, which I've kind of like, I used to be more into it or like more hopeful about it or whatever. Nowadays, I'm just like, if it happens,
Yeah,
it
give
happens.
up hope, yeah.
Yeah,
You survived 2020, brother.
Yeah.
Don't give up hope.
But I used to always try to talk my friends into like starting a YouTube channel and like posting often and trying to develop their YouTube channel, because I always I see so many YouTube creators who have like a circle of friends who all have their own channels and they cross promote each other, and you know, you make content, your buddy makes content,
right.
Other 5 buddies make content, and then you feature each other in your videos and you shout it, you know, like, and that's part of how people like
I guess that's true,
other,
right? Because you're gonna have additional traffic, not just one person's.
Say for instance you had a channel, and
right?
One of my friends and one of your friends, and we'd all make content together and cross promote,
right?
So our own fans would like sort of elevate each other and all that. But
no, I like the idea.
Yeah, I used to always try to like talk my friends into it. I still do, but I'm not as like, I used to be way more like, I don't know if aggressive is the right word about like, but I used to, I guess, be more aggressive about it to where I was like, you know, really trying to like talk people into it, but it just never worked. Like I would try hard to like come on, like you should do it. Like, you know, thinking what I was saying would be motivational enough to like get them to do it, but they just wouldn't. And nowadays I'm just like, you know, I'll still encourage people to do it, but I don't really, like, I just kind of do it and leave it at that.
Yeah, right.
But I still do. I definitely think that would be cool. Like, I mean, even like there's other channels I watch, like Churdleys, for instance. I don't know if you've seen them, but they're like a comedy.
I think I've heard of them.
You've probably seen some of their videos.
Oh yeah.
But they like, that dude became successful on YouTube, and then a lot of the people that he works with in his videos, like they started channels and now they're successful as well. And like some of them, you know, like you kind of, I think with a lot of times with YouTube,
they kind of stemmed off of one though.
Yeah, they all have sort of similar formats.
Right.
But like,
they very similar format. Yeah.
Yeah, just different personalities.
Right.
And but they all kind of, I think, just with YouTubers in general, like you'll have a time period where your content's like hot, you know, like you're getting like a lot of traction, and then it sort of like simmers off, and then eventually it might come back down or come back up, and then, you know, so it kind of ebbs and flows. But then like one of their friends might have like hit gold while you're down, and so it's just kind of
you gotta balance your portfolio so that you have a solid market performance throughout the entire year.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, anyway, hopefully, like, I don't know, it'd be cool if people that I'm working with, like you or other people, did start channels. But at the same time, like, even if we're just making our own stuff and posting it on my channel, that's awesome too.
Right. Well, one good thing is that I am doing better for myself, so that I think I can get my camera back from JJ.
You could definitely do that.
I can get my camera off.
Or did you
camera
give it to
off
him 'cause you
eBay.
wanted the money?
I needed the money.
Oh, okay.
I needed to sell my camera worse than ever because I was in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Camera never sold. I'm doing okay now, so I need to probably get my camera back.
Yeah, you should.
It's better than just sitting there doing nothing.
Well, right, especially like,
I mean, I don't. Yeah, right.
It's just collecting dust. Like,
right.
You know, I mean, it's one thing if he had it and he was actively trying to sell it. But
yeah, I feel like I might go a little nuts though if I start, content creating. I might go a little content
that's not a
crazy.
bad thing all the time. I mean, I guess it depends on
Right.
the extent.
I always thought about live streaming gaming, and then when I had to do my job, I would just live stream my job, but put myself on mute and then jump back to streaming gaming because I work at a desk job.
Dude, I had gotten an Elgato, and
yeah, we should try that.
yeah, we should. Because I really like the
Elgato, the flaming
the cat.
All right, fine.
It does
You're
sound
not gonna
like,
fuck it up twice, huh?
It does sound like the goat, though. I'm surprised it means cat, man. It's disappointing. But I tried to get it all up and running, and it was just like such a headache. Like I seriously spent so much time trying to figure out how to like capture the footage that I was gaming with and get audio from the group chat and myself.
It was that hard?
It's probably not that hard, but I had a hard time with it. And like I tried to go through Twitch, and like I kind of did, but then downloading the footage was a pain in the ass.
You have Discord?
No, I know that's like another way to do it. I've downloaded it, but I don't really use it.
Yeah, I downloaded it too, but I don't really use it.
Yeah, but I
have a computer, but I don't really know how to use it.
Dude, it's kind of a long story. Like I went through so much trying to get like shit set up for gaming videos where like.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
You were like
crazy. Like I bought like.
You were like really ready to start gaming.
I was trying to make the content. I was just wanted to start posting gaming content, and like I went out and bought
on Xbox or on PC or
Xbox. Yeah, I was gonna do it with Apex mostly, just because that's what I was playing a lot of.
Right.
And so I went out and bought like a flash drive, and then it wasn't the right format, and then I had to format it for PC, but I didn't have a PC, so then I took it over to my parents' house, and then I formatted it, but then it wouldn't record long enough, and it was just like such a pain in the ass. And then I finally got like the Elgato, which I was avoiding doing, and I'd actually bought at one point, like I got the Elgato, and then I bought I bought a laptop for the gaming content, and then I had the Elgato, and I had to download the software for the Elgato, and the laptop that I bought was advertised as a 2020 like spec. Like it wasn't made from 2020 or 2019 or whatever year that was, but it was advertised in the listing that way. But then I got it, and it was too old to update the software to what was compatible with the Elgato's software. What? So then like I went through all this, spent $500 on this laptop, and then like it was literally not capable of like running that software because after a certain year, like those laptops just maxed out at like the OS that they could operate on. And then like I tried to return it, and then they were like, oh, well, we're not going to refund you. So then I dispute it. And it was just like such a nightmare. And I ended up getting the laptop for free because I won the dispute, and they never asked me to return it.
Oh, really?
So I still have it, but I just don't really use it much. But then I returned the Elgato, and then I got another one later, and then I tried to set that up with my desktop, and maybe I'm slow, but like I just couldn't figure it out, so I just kind of gave up on it. But it's still something that I want to do at some point. Like I would love to do some gaming content.
Dude, I saw a video on Snapchat the other day. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen this guy or not. This guy programmed an electronic drum set to connect the controls of an N64 controller.
So he's like playing the game.
He plays like the snare and the fucking hi-hat for drum. The bass is his jump.
Yeah.
He plays fucking drums, and he sets the world record for playing through Super Mario 64. I watched him do it. He's like, and he hits his snare drum. He like takes one step forward, so he goes like for him to run, and then he jumps with the bass pedal, and then he like punches with a cymbal. So he's like, and he.
Do you hear the sounds too of the drum?
No, it's just like the rubber padding, you know, electronic drum. But watching him play, he set the world record. Well, he already set the world record because nobody's playing N64 on a fucking electronic drum set.
Yeah.
He said it himself. He's like,
that's
this is
nuts, dude. Like, just to do that is crazy.
To program it, to make it do that, right?
Yeah, that's
to
crazy,
go through the headache.
With the world record is like, holy shit.
He beat N64 Super Mario 64 in like 23 minutes. Damn. The whole game.
Yeah.
That's all stars. That's all the stars in every level in 23 minutes. I'm like, I can't even get through the first fucking world in 23 minutes. I don't just wander around the world like aimlessly for 23 minutes. I was like, you just beat the game with a drum set?
Yeah, that's next level.
I don't know, it was really cool to watch. But like the amount of intelligence that guy had to have to set it up,
Yeah.
and then the amount of discipline he had to have to sit there and
Like actually
learn how to play N64 on a drum
he was
set.
Like a really good drummer to begin with.
I would say he's a really good programmer to begin with.
Okay.
I mean,
dude, I gotta use the bathroom really bad.
yeah. I mean,
Do you wanna call it for the podcast today, or do you?
yeah. I feel like this has been a good podcast.
Yeah, I think so too. We usually do it for like at least an hour. You think it's been an hour yet?
Let me see. I don't know.
My sound device.
Well, it has. I think so.
Okay. All right. Well, then to conclude, thank you for coming on. It's been cool to have you on.
Hey, man.
If you ever want to do it again
Thanks a
sometime.
lot. It was awesome. Your peanuts were pretty hot.
Yeah.
But I felt like I handled it pretty well.
Dude, you did. You handled it way better than the other two.
Yeah,
And,
like I
was
said,
nice.
I recognized the Carolina Reaper spice, but the
you
addition,
could taste it?
I could taste that. I was like, that's a familiar spice.
Yeah.
But the other ones, no, they were super uncomfortable and hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Like every
I feel
time we
like
talked.
I can still feel it a little. Like
Is my throat not like red anymore? Is it?
no, it looks normal now.
Good. Because when you said
was,
that,
like,
I was
legit red,
when you said that, I was like, am I having an allergic reaction? Am I gonna
Yeah.
die?
No, I think it's just maybe it was maybe not allergic, but some sort of reaction. But
Hey,
Yeah.
well, I hope we get a reaction out of you guys. Leave
yeah.
comments in the
Ooh,
bottom
nice
below.
segue, dude. That was good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Hey, comment, subscribe, like, hit the bell icon if you want notifications every time I upload. This is another episode of the Food for Thought podcast. brought to you
Food for
by
thought.
with our guest Nick Bishea. If you want to subscribe to Nick's channel that never gets any new content,
Hey,
do that.
well, I'd love to see new followers, and the motivation may very well spark something new. So
That'd
if
be
you
cool.
like what you see, then give me a comment and
Yeah, dude. Yeah, go
may
check out
just
Nick. Nick's
influence
got
me.
it's like a mockumentary on his channel called
Right.
Chevy's
You're
Chevy?
better off.
How do you
You're
say it?
better off now with Kelly Chevelle.
Kelly Chevelle.
Kelly Chevelle.
Okay, and that's like it's a mockumentary, right?
Yeah, he's a legendary legend in motocross.
Yeah.
So check it out. It's pretty silly, but
Yeah.
it's it got me an A in college.
Did it?
It did.
Nice. Well, that's all.
And to my surprise, because it was
That was pretty good. I remember watching it. Like when
it
you
was
mentioned
fun,
Yeah.
but not something you should have done for a college final.
Maybe not.
Some of the content in there was not meant for
Well, if it
class,
got you an A,
but
then
they loved it. But I'm pretty sure there was alcohol in my teacher's coffee cup every morning, so they.
well. Anyways, man, thank you for coming on.
Cheers.
Let's do another one sometime.
Yes, sir. Till next time, YouTube.